Welcome to the latest news and what's going on out the road. With no further details, let's go.
Afternoon, I'm Anthony Log with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on OneSpotMedia.com. Up first this afternoon, the bodies found at an open lot near Exchange Avenue in Portmore St. Catherine this morning have been identified. They are 38-year-old Nicholas Newville, a jump coach at the Calabar High School, and 19-year-old student Rahima Edwards. The bodies were found shortly after 6. Investigators theorized that the two were shot sometime last night. No motive has yet been established for the killing. A man is dead and two others injured, including an infant, following a shooting in Featherbed Lane, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. As you'll hear in this report, the police believe the attack is linked to a gang feud in the area.
23-year-old Andrew Thomas of Ensom City in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, was shot dead at 41 Featherbed Lane Sunday night. Two other people, including a 1-year-old baby, were injured in the shooting. According to the Spanish Town police, about 9:15 last night, Mr. Thomas was at home with other family members when armed men entered the yard and opened gunfire, hitting the child and another relative. Mr. Thomas ran, however, he was chased and shot multiple times. The security forces responded to the incident. However, they too came under heavy gunfire and had to take cover. It's understood that a police officer was also injured in the attack. The gunmen escaped in the area. The child, the other man, and the police officer were treated at hospital and released. Now the police are in search of the men behind the violence. The police believe the attack is related to an internal gang feud. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM, is investigating the matter.
The forensic team of INDICOM, along with the scene of crime of the JCF, processed the scene, and we are recanvassing to see if there are other persons who may have witnessed the incident. And anyone hearing this report, we are asking them to contact INDICOM to assist the investigation by calling 878-0167.
Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
An investigation has been launched into the circumstances which led to the death of a newborn baby in Portland over the weekend. The newborn was found in a garbage bin by a team from the National Solid Waste Management Authority. The discovery was made about 7 o'clock on Sunday morning while the NSWMA team was removing garbage on William Street in Port Antonio. The police were summoned. Anyone having information is being asked to contact the Port Antonio Police at 876-322-9368 or 876-322-9263. You are also being asked to contact the 119 emergency number or the nearest police station. Residents of Innswood Estate in St. Catherine are this afternoon fuming after their houses were demolished on Saturday following directions from the Sugar Corporation of Jamaica SCJ Holdings. However, that's not going down well with residents, some of whom have spent their entire lives at that location. O'Shane Masters picks up that story.
A picture of despair. This is a scene of the demolition which was ordered by the Sugar Corporation of Jamaica SCJ Holdings at the Innswood Estate in St. Catherine over the weekend. The exercise has left at least 5 families without a roof. The residents say the properties which were provided for them by the SCJ to relocate are inadequate. They told our news team that the houses located at White House Road are not ready to be occupied.
And also in a livable condition. We don't have no good toilet system because the toilet sometimes we use the water run out. They come down, they do some work, they mash up the toilet tank cover. I tell them we not fix. The bathrooms, the only if I house them now go. My house is definitely a leak.
They say that is compounded by deplorable road conditions and no water. Margaret Jones, who has been living at Innswood Estate for over 50 years, says how they were treated by the SCJ is unfair. Those whose houses were demolished said no date was given for them to vacate the premises.
Every time they come with a letter, we say we not finish it. Them do we don't have a sign to no letter. They give one letter one time, so when? I think in January, so if we move here, and by 9th, new owner go start work by 9. How can we move by the 8th? We have so much space. Look, I just one little 2-bedroom.
The residents say they tried to meet with the leadership of the SCJ but were told no meeting would be held until they vacate the premises.
Just to give us a good time, but we don't know what we have to do, and that they couldn't do. Them say government send them. Them say government to address Mr. Andrew Onis, and all the member of parliament know about this, and that them say member I government send them, I government work them and do.
In the meantime, Councillor Caretaker for the Sydenham Division, Sheridan Hibbert, is also bemoaning the manner in which the residents were treated.
This is totally unacceptable in the 21st century. We must deal with people better than this. Because as you can see, all the items for the persons are on the ground. The houses are totally demolished. They have nowhere to sleep tonight. They're going to have to be catching with people and so on and so forth. We cannot be doing this at this time. This is totally irresponsible, unacceptable, and we cannot allow this to continue going on.
Mr. Hibbert says he has personally reached out to the managing director of SCJ Holdings, Joseph Shakir, to see what can be done to assist the residents who were affected.
We can't afford to do this to people. All persons' lives matter, regardless whether you think they're poor or they're disadvantaged or whatever. We have to deal with people in a civilized manner.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
The number of people hospitalized with the respiratory illness COVID-19 has increased to 245. Of that figure, 21 are critically ill, while 44 are moderately ill. In the meantime, the death toll has increased to 378 after the illness claimed 4 more lives. The deceased are a 78-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 59-year-old man from Portland, and 2 women, ages 99 and 86, who resided in Trelawney. The Ministry of Health and Wellness says another death is being investigated, and 270 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed yesterday. The country's case count is now 19,305. Their ages range from 20 days to 89 years. The number of active cases also increased to 6,096. This is up from 5,875 on Saturday. With hospitals now inundated with COVID-19 cases, the government is putting more pressure on people who have abandoned their relatives at hospitals. During a recent tour of the Falmouth Field Hospital in Trelawney, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said those people will be taken to court. Kelisha Williams has that story.
The government has been trying for years to remove patients who have been abandoned at hospitals across the island. However, to date, that initiative has been unsuccessful. Now, with hospitals island-wide bursting at the seams with COVID-19 patients, the Health Ministry is intensifying measures to remove social cases from hospitals.
We are pursuing the legal option. We want to test the law in court. I can't tell you how it will turn out, but at least it will ventilate the issue. And to the extent that we don't get the enforcement or the decision that we would like, it may lead to changes in the law.
According to Dr. Tufton, freeing up more bed space for patients who really need it is critical at this time. He explained that a lawyer is already being engaged.
The cases are being looked at now, and I anticipate that some filing of some kind will take place where we say to persons who are responsible for their significant other, the place to lodge them if they can't take care of themselves is not in a hospital.
In the meantime, Dr. Tufton said the ministry will be working with the local authorities to see whether infirmaries can accommodate some of the patients.
I don't know that there is any easy solution to it in the context of a country where the attitude towards those who are incapable of taking care of themselves is that they should be somebody else's responsibility, not the responsibility of those who they have taken care of during their younger years and more productive years. And so the real issue is really to get an attitudinal change.
Kelisha Williams, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back. Continuing the news. Former Jamaica Labour Party JLP Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth South East and attorney-at-law Cecil July died this morning following a short illness. Mr. July, who served as MP between 1980 to 83, died at the University Hospital. He was admitted to hospital just over 2 weeks ago after collapsing while attending court in Black River. He also served as a state minister. Reactions this afternoon from farmers to the government's announcement of a new life and health insurance plan being made available to them. The plan is expected to benefit 246,000 farmers and fisherfolk.
Heavy machines and hazardous terrains expose farmers to numerous risks while they work to feed the nation. For years, many have been clamoring for additional measures to help safeguard them and their families in the event of critical health emergencies. In Parliament last Tuesday, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green announced that the government has partnered with Sagicor to establish a scheme, and farmers are grateful.
It's a good thing, you know. That's they are coffee here ago. Good thing, you know, if it can work, it's a very good thing for us. Because at least we know, so well, then if we meet to our last, then at least we get some insurance money that help balance the back.
Speaking at the official signing, Mr. Green outlined some of the benefits the farmers and fisherfolk will have access to.
What you have here is a group major medical plan that persons can only qualify for if they're registered as a farmer and have their RAD, a farmer's ID, or if they're registered as a fisher and have their license from the National Fisheries Authority. Once you have that, you can get access to a major medical plan that deals with things such as chemotherapy, radiation, dialysis, a full house plan that gives people access to certain critical drugs, and a life insurance plan, and a critical illness plan.
The different plans will start with premiums as low as $200 upwards. Flexible payment options will also be available.
Our farmers and fisherfolk will have the ability to pay premiums either twice per year or on a quarterly basis. The plans have been so priced to focus on affordability.
220,000 registered farmers and over 26,000 fisherfolk are eligible for the program. There will be a 3-month enrollment period starting March 1, 2021, during which target beneficiaries and their dependents can sign up for the program without undergoing medicals. Javon Keys, TVJ News.
Attorney-at-law Bert Samuels believes the woman at the center of a hotel controversy should be charged. This following Kalina Collier, a stewardess of JetBlue Airways, saying she was kidnapped and was being held at the Ocean Coral Spring Hotel in Trelawney upon her arrival in the country on January 28. It's reported that Ms. Collier tested positive for COVID-19 and was placed in quarantine. Ms. Collier said in a video on social media that if her fans did not hear from her, they were to assume that she had been kidnapped. It's that statement attorney-at-law Bert Samuels says should lead to her being charged with public mischief. Her action resulted in a negative impact on the island's tourist sector that is already under strain by the COVID-19 pandemic.
On the high crime rate in Jamaica, we don't need anything to be added to it. I think the police take this very seriously and should prefer charges. You have to make examples of people who do this kind of terrible thing. You can't, there's freedom of speech, but there's no freedom to malign people or malign a country.
Ms. Collier was accompanied by her mother, Candice Walker, to the Sangster International Airport, where she left the island to New York yesterday. In news overseas, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is facing cause for an investigation and even impeachment. It comes after allegations that his administration delayed the release of data on COVID-19 deaths. More from the CNN.
This is a very big deal.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is facing calls he be investigated. State Republicans going so far as to say he should be impeached.
The gravity of this cover-up cannot be overstated.
This after his top aide admitted to withholding data for months that revealed thousands more confirmed and presumed COVID-19 deaths of long-term care facility residents than previously disclosed.
throughout the pandemic, between his Emmy for his coronavirus press briefings, to Governor Cuomo's book, to his speech at the Democratic National Convention, Governor Cuomo has been held up as the model governor in his coronavirus response, even though New York was so hard hit by the virus early on.
But now, according to a transcript of a private video call, Melissa DeRosa told Democratic state lawmakers that in response to questions, basically we froze, because then we were in a position where we weren't sure if what we were going to give to the Department of Justice or what we give to you guys, what we start saying, was going to be used against us. 14 Democratic state senators saying in a statement Cuomo should be stripped of his emergency powers. State Republicans echoing their call and going further.
The Cuomo administration purposely lied and withheld evidence and information to avoid prosecution. Andrew Cuomo must be prosecuted, and Andrew Cuomo must be impeached.
To news and sports now, CEO of the Jamaica Cricket Association, Courtney Francis, says while he understands that players are anxious to return to play, the JCA will be cautious in resuming cricket locally. Local cricket has not been played since March last year, and despite other countries in the region resuming their domestic tournament, there has been little movement from the JCA. Francis says players' health must come first.